Have you ever noticed that the more you try to explain yourself to people, that is the less people actually seem to really understand you? And the ultimate truth in reality is that having this kind of feeling is really heartbreaking, but it leads to the birth of the curiosity of me actually wanting to know exactly why it is so. And I am very sure that you are also feeling the same way too, okay? But come to think of it too, what if I told you that you always defending your choices is the very thing that is actually draining your confidence right now? I want you to remain hooked up with me until the very end of today's video, because what I am about to be sharing with you right now has what it takes to make you to realize and then be conscious that the day that you stop explaining yourself to people, that is the very day that your life starts changing for the best for you. And I hope this is exactly what you wish for yourself. Now, let us start by looking critically at why most people really feel that there is a need for them to always explain themselves to everyone or people around them. Number one, most people always have this fear of being misunderstood, and so most times they are afraid that if they don't explain every detail about themselves and then everything that really have to do with their life, others will get the wrong idea about them, and so they keep on talking, they keep on hoping that everyone will finally come to understand their true intentions. But the more they explain, what they don't know is that is the more trapped they feel. Number two, most people always have this fear of being judged. Deep down, many people worry about what others really think about them and then anything that has to do with them. And so this really makes them to always explain their choices because they don't want to be seen as being foolish, being selfish, or wrong. And that is why they keep on spending more time on defending their decisions rather than them actually living them. Number three, most people always have this great desire for approval and then acceptance from others. And that is why, as humans, there is this natural urge of us wanting to be accepted. And that is why many people explain themselves over and over again to family members, to friends, to co-workers, and even strangers. And the truth is this: they are not just sharing information, but they are also hoping to hear from them that you are doing everything right. Number four, most people always want everyone to always agree with their decisions in life. Many people believe that if they can just explain themselves well enough or better, everyone will finally agree with them. But in reality, life does not work like that at all. No matter how good your reasons are, some people will still disagree with you. And that is why, in reality, this is the truth that most people never realize until it is too late. Most times, we are not explaining ourselves to people just because people really need more information about us or anything, but we are rather explaining ourselves over and over again to people because We are really looking for their validation. And the day that you stop needing everyone else's approval, guess what happens immediately? You will start to have this strong feeling of being truly free. And this is so exciting, I must tell you. But here is the question. What happens when you finally stop explaining yourself to others? That is where everything begins to change in your life overnight for the best. Now let us talk about it. The hidden cost of you actually over explaining yourself to others. At first, explaining yourself to others might really seem harmless. And so you think that you are helping people to really understand you better. But over time, the truth is, it comes with a hidden cost, and that is what I want to disclose to you right now. Number one, people start questioning your decisions the more. The more you defend your choices, that is the more people feel they are invited to judge them. And so instead of ending the conversation, your explanations often create even more questions for them to ask you, and they need you to reply. Number two, you give away your emotional power. Whenever your peace is totally depending on whether others really understand you or approve of you, you are now handing over to them the power for them to start controlling how you feel. And that is so bad. Okay? Number three, you become dependent on other people's opinions in life. And so you start looking around for their approval before ever you can make any decision concerning your life. And so instead of you to start trusting yourself, you are now waiting for others to tell you that you are right before you know that you are right. Number four, you waste energy depending on other people only for them to make you to be alive. So think about it. At the end of the day, you are the one living with those choices and not everyone else. Yet, many people really spend more of their energy always depending on their life than them actually living it. You have to always remember this powerful truth that I want to tell you. Every unnecessary explanation that you keep on giving is a request for permission, okay? And that is why the very moment that you stop asking for permission to be yourself, everything in your life begins to change dramatically, in your life. And that is exactly what you explore next in this video. So what really changes exactly when you stop explaining yourself? The moment you stop trying to convince everyone to always understand you, guess what happens? Something powerful begins to happen immediately in your life. And so I want you to just calm down and then allow me to unveil it to you, okay? Number one, you become more confident. Real confidence isn't knowing that everyone really agrees with you, is you being able to move forward even when they don't. And so when you stop seeking for approval, you start trusting in your own judgment, and that is a good move. Number two, you gain peace. I just want you to pause and then think about it. How much energy that you have been really wasting always on trying to make everyone to actually understand your choices in life. Okay? And so when you stop doing that, what happens? There's less arguing, less stress, and far less emotional exhaustion. And you will finally feel lighter and then better again in your life. And that is a good move. Number 3, people respect you the more. People naturally respect those who are secure in their decisions. And so when you constantly defend yourself, you appear uncertain to people. But when you stand firm without you being defensive, people take your word more seriously. Okay? Now, let's go to number 4. You become more focused instead of you actually spending your time and energy to always explain yourself to people why you are doing something. Okay? But I want you to rather use this opportunity to really spend it wisely, to do something meaningful for your personal growth and then development in life. And so your energy shifts from talking about your path to making progress on it. Now, the real transformation really happens when you stop living for other people's approval and then you start living according to your own values. This is very important. And when once that happens, you will wonder why you really spend so much of your life trying to convince everyone else in the first place. But there is one mistake that many people are really making whenever they hear this message. But the sincere truth is, avoiding it is not the key to making this change work in real life. So it is very important at this point for us to really come to know the difference between being secretive and then being secure. Now, at this point, some people really misunderstand the message, and so they think that stopping explanations really means them shutting people out of their lives. And that is not what we are talking about. But that is not what this is all about in this video. So I am going to be proving that to you with these 3 points. Number 1, you not explaining yourself to people doesn't mean that you are being rude. Yes, you can still be kind, respectful, and considerate. The difference is that you are no longer trying to convince everyone else, but rather you value your own choices in life. 2, you are not explaining yourself doesn't really mean that you are really ignoring advice. Wise people always listen to advice, and so they learn from others, but they also understand that learning doesn't really mean you obeying every and any opinion that people tell you or you hear. Number 3, you not explaining yourself to others, truly means that it is not everyone that needs access to your reasons in life. And so many of us feel pressured to explain every decision that we make in life. But the truth is this: it is not everyone that has earned the right to know every detail about your life. Something can simply be your decision, and that is fine. I want you to have this in mind, that maturity is you knowing when an explanation is necessary and when silence is really enough or needed. You know, you don't have to attend to every argument you are being invited to. Sometimes the strongest response is you quietly moving forward. Okay? And when you learn this skill, you will discover one final truth that can completely change the way and manner you live your life forever. And so, at this point, it is very important for us to now talk about the practical ways for you to actually stop over explaining yourself to people over and then over again. So, knowing why we over explain ourselves is very, very important. But how do you actually stop it? Here are a few simple changes that can really make a huge difference. Okay, number one, say whatever you mean and then stop there immediately. Most people make a decision, explain it, and then they keep on talking because they feel uncomfortable with the silence that they see or feel at that particular point. And so I am advising you the next time, say what you mean clearly and then stop there immediately. You don't need a 10-minute defense for a one sentence decision that you are making. Number two, learn to tolerate disagreements. One of the hardest lessons in life is accepting that it is not everyone that will agree with you. And that is okay and fine. Someone else's disagreement doesn't mean that you've made the wrong choice in life. Number three, stop trying to convince everyone else. Okay, the truth is some people have already made up their minds and there is nothing you can do about it. And so there is no amount of explanation that you will give to them that can really make them to change their mind for you. And this is the more reason why you really need to just save your energy for living your life instead of you debating on it. Number four, let your results do the talking for you. You don't have to prove yourself to people with your words all the time, because sometimes your actions, your consistency, and even your results will say more than any explanation can ever do for you. Okay, now let's talk about the fifth point. Accept that some people will never understand your journey in life. Not everyone has lived your experiences, faced your challenges, or carries your exact dreams in life. Some people may never understand why you chose that path to take in life, and so you don't need them to even. Now, the life-changing truth that you really need to know is that freedom really begins in the moment that you stop needing everyone to really understand you. Okay? Now, the right people that are meant for you in life will always respect your choices, your decisions, and the people who don't, they are not going to ever understand you, no matter how you convince them in any way. And that brings us to the most important reason or lesson for this entire video, which is the truth that changes everything when you finally understand it. Now, here is the ultimate transformation for you, okay? Where everything comes together. This isn't just about talking less. It's about you changing the way and manner you live your life. Before, many people spend years of their lives seeking for other people's approval. They consistently wonder what others are really thinking about them, and so they defend every decision they make and shape their lives around other people's expectation. It is so exhausting because no matter how hard you try, you can never please anyone, and that is the honest truth I have for you. But when you stop explaining yourself to others all the time, over and over again, something begins to change quietly in your life. And so you start trusting your own judgments. You become more comfortable with your own choices, even when others don't agree with you. Instead of you being pushed around by other people's opinion in your own life, guess what happens? You now consciously now choose to stand firm in what you truly believe in that is right for your life. And so, the greatest reward isn't power. It is not status or recognition, but it is rather freedom that you get. The freedom to be yourself without constantly seeking for permission. It is so sweet. The freedom to make decisions without you needing other people's approval is so sweet. The freedom to live with a sense of peace that comes from you actually knowing that you are being true to yourself is so sweet. Now, the final truth is this: the day that you stop explaining yourself is not that very day that people will suddenly start to understand you, but it is rather the day that you finally realize that they don't have to. And you see that realization that you have, it changes everything in your life overnight. Yes, read my lips. And so the ultimate transformation is where everything comes together. This isn't just about you talking less. It's about you changing the way and manner you live your life. And so before many people spend years of their life seeking approval, they constantly consider what others think, defend every decision that they make in life, and shape their lives around other people's expectation. It is exhausting because no matter how hard you try, you can never please everyone, yes. But when you stop explaining yourself all the time to people over and then over again, something begins to change. You start trusting your own judgments. You become more comfortable with your own choices. And even when others don't really agree with you, instead of you to start being pushed around by other people's opinion, you stand firm in what you truly believe is right for your life. And the greatest reward isn't power, it is status or recognition, but it is rather freedom. The freedom to be yourself without you constantly seeking for other people's permission. The freedom to make a decision without needing other people's approval. The freedom to live a sense of peace that comes from you knowing that you are being true to yourself. And this is what celebrating. The final truth that I have for you is this: the day that you stop explaining yourself to people isn't the day that people suddenly understands you, but it is the day that you finally realize that they don't have to. And that realization can change everything overnight in your life. The day that you stop explaining yourself to other people unnecessarily is the very day that your eyes will get opened to really realize that you do not really need their permission to become who you are meant to be in life. And I want you to know that It is not everybody that have to really understand your dreams, your goals, and then vision of your journey in life. And so you don't have to feel bad about it. Your duty is to make sure that you do not give up, but always focus and then keep on moving forward until you finally win. I am encouraging you to answer this question that I am about to ask you right now with all honesty. What is the biggest reason that have always make you to find yourself explaining yourself, your decisions to others over and over again? A, I want people to understand and then approve my choices. B, I worry about being judged or misunderstood by people. I want you to know that if you choose A as your answer, you may be seeking validation without you realizing it. And many people feel more comfortable when others really agree with them. But true confidence really grows when you trust your own decisions, even when approval doesn't come from people. If you choose B as your answer, you might be carrying a fear of criticism or misunderstanding. That completely is normal. However, not everyone will understand your journey in life, and that is okay and fine. And so, your job is not to convince everyone, but it is rather to stay true to your values and then keep on moving forward. Okay, let us have a final reflection about how you always explain yourself to others. Now, imagine how much peace you would have if you no longer felt the need to always defend every decision that you make in life. What is one area of your life where you will stop over explaining yourself starting from today? Share your answer in the comment section below. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video up to this very end. And if you are able to learn something out of today's video, then give this video a like, share this video, turn on your notification bell, and subscribe to Simplicity in Peaks channel to support me, and I will see you again in my next video. Don't go nowhere because I care about you, okay?